Let's say China.
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 China. I love them. China.
I'm coming to you from the shadow of Donald Trump's trade war. He's still 2 months away from being inaugurated as president for the second time, but he's already begun his trade war with America's biggest economic rival. Last week, he began with a 10% or a threat of a 10% tariff, which he's going to put on all Chinese exports, all goods coming into America that already have a tariff on them. And because of his first term, the president's first term, that's a huge amount. About $400 billion worth of Chinese exports into America currently already have tariffs. But his team signaled that's just the beginning. Trump himself, as a candidate, has spoken for all year about increasing tariffs on Chinese imports.
The word tariff, properly used, is a beautiful word. One of the most beautiful words I've ever heard. It's music to my ears.
This 10%, I think, is being read by many in Beijing as just the opening salvo in what they see as a sustained ratcheting up by Trump of the levels of tariffs on China.
Nobody else is going to be able to do it. China doesn't have what we have. Nobody has what we have.
Now, just today, he's come out with a new threat. This is for 100% tariff on China and the other BRICS members if they undermine the dominance of the US dollar. Many nationalist Chinese have scoffed at that threat, saying, all this guy, he's just got one policy, more tariffs, whatever the problem, he comes back with this one measure. They think they're aware that the US-China relationship is in a really bad way, and that Trump's coming in, returning to the presidency with the relationship in a far worse state than it was when he first became president in 2016. That time around, there seemed to be an attempt from the Trump administration to use tariffs to try to change a lot of Chinese economic policies that frustrated Washington. Policies like subsidization and what the Americans see as unfair trade practices from the Chinese.
I love China.
But this time around, not many people in Beijing think Trump really wants change in the economy, or rather, business people here don't think their government would have anything to do with those discussions. They think that Trump just wants to increase the amount of tariffs and the amount of tax he can collect on trade with China and encourage America to trade elsewhere. There's a lot of fear that this next 4 years is going to profoundly change the US-China economic relationship. That already happened in the first term, but building on that with another 4 years, coming after 4 tough years from Biden, many people here are very gloomy about what world China's going to be occupying in another 4 years' time. But for now, they, more than anyone in the world, have to watch Donald Trump's social media feed as he announces new threats, and many of them aimed at China. No shortage of reasons for people in China, especially business people, to feel gloomy.